Troubleshooting network issues, as we have discussed earlier, is complicated by the fact that it is difficult to find the single source of truth for network design and configuration details outside the live network, which is rarely accessible and useful for analysis anyway. Any offline documentation, like a Visio diagram, is rarely up to date and likely doesn't represent the snapshot in time that may be of interest to us or use in isolating a network's problem. So how do you find out what is really going on or go back to what may have been going on when things may have worked correctly? When changes have to be made fast, documentation and historical details can be lost. How do you easily roll back to a known good state if things do start to go wrong as a result of a change window? Forward Networks works by collecting frequent snapshots of the entire network implementation, configurations and state information, and organizing the details into a behaviorally accurate model of the network. From these snapshots, we not only can go back and evaluate network behavior at any point in time, say to when things weren't broken, but also highlight the configuration diffs between any prior state and the current state. We immediately see that if at a prior point in time the behavior was the same, or quickly isolate what changed that could have resulted in the current issue. Network issues can be resolved in a fraction of the time, and for compliance and reporting purposes, you always have an accurate historical record of then current policies, as well as a way to evaluate potential behavior if rolled back to a prior state. Let's see how this would look in our platform. We can start on the Verify tab, which lists all of our policy rules and the status of each in the current network implementation. We see one rule failing, the policy that no inbound traffic from the internet reaches our web app server other than HTTPS on port 443. Let's assume we don't know why it's failing and what configuration to fix at this point on what device. In another video, we address how to use the analytics tools and search capability to perform a root cause analysis. We would start by looking at the paths and section of the network that violate the policy and drill down to isolate the problem. But here we want to show how we can roll back to a previous state to isolate the problem. So we'll go back to our earlier Verify view and bring in another snapshot. We pull down the menu of Archived Snapshots and start the comparison process. This is a little confusing because there are other checks failing that we aren't interested in now, so we will focus only on the top rule that has change status. We can elect to see the changes that were made between snapshots, and it looks like someone has inserted permit rules to this firewall configuration for HTTP and SSH instead of blank lines. This is the source of the traffic permits that are not using HTTPS that violated our policy. Rather than labor over searching and analyzing the network behavior, we are quickly directed to the changes that will correct this policy. In another use case video, we show how you can also compare the current network snapshot to proposed changes you're making, rather than a snapshot at a different point of time. But the process is the same. You can save up to 90% of the time troubleshooting and testing with Forward Enterprise while verifying that the network is compliant with all intended policies. If you are interested in learning more about Forward Networks, please visit our website at forwardnetworks.com. And please check out our other product and use case videos on our site or YouTube channel.